All right, I had to do a part 2. I hope I don't. Yeah, I don't want to miss. I'm gonna go back to um, the other questions in the stream. You know what I mean? Always does this. We're near the end of the class, and then it looks like it just quit on you and just walked out the building and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah. Let me wait. Thank you for coming back. So I know I always have these problems and stuff like that. But here's the thing, right? The last question I was answering, which I think kind of cut off, was a very personal question. It was asked about. It was Self-I Build asking me was the most rewarding or memorable moment from teaching. The most rewarding thing is the most rewarding thing that I've had teaching is the feeling of consistency. That feeling to feel it every single week that I was able to do something that all my mentors did for me. You know, all the great teachers that I had and all the things that they did for me, and be able to do it for someone else. You know what I'm saying? Very satisfying. At the same time, though, to show a life of service and to see it um, affect the mentality of my oldest daughter, and just her naturally having that understanding that you have to have a life of service, to do something of service that is right, that has nothing to do with you, um, that isn't just for your own benefit though, but yet benefits you back. You know what I mean? Um, so I would say that would be the most rewarding thing, that uh, to be of service. You know what I mean? Because I came into this knowledge of self as a revolutionary. I never stopped being that way, and that mentality is the mentality that I have, and that mentality is always one from love and service. And the older gods, they put me in that position to be of service. You know what I mean? And all the great mentors I had. You know, it only makes sense because all the things I learned for free. When I was in college, my first college mentor, lifelong mentor, Dr. David Traverso, he didn't stop teaching me in the classroom. He kept teaching me for my whole life. Didn't have to do that. Um, because of the gods, I learned not only from the elders, but I also learned kung fu, and all I had to do was work hard. And Seagung Bobby Whitaker, taught us all. We just worked hard. And that's crazy to me. So to be able to put that back into perspective, you know what I'm saying? Manifest absolutely rewarding to honor the elders that took the time, to build with you. That's the most rewarding. As far as moment, oh man, shit, I don't know. Um, I'd have to think about that. Right. I'd have to think about that. Right. Teaching people the smallest thing as opposed to the biggest, most important thing. Um, they all have the same value and worth to me. You know what I mean? Answering a question, seeing all of you have better, greater critical thinking skills, and all of that is those are all high moments, you know. So I am either on a consistent high, and that's why I seem gradual, right? But it's rewarding because I was saying before it chopped off. My week ends on after this class. This is the end of my week, And everything that I think I have accumulated in insight, and what I think is the most important, is how I'm learning every week. You know what I mean? And so just of my own mentality of how I look at this class, it becomes a very rewarding thing. You know what I mean? So very, very, rewarding. I'm very idealistic, and that's why I think that the babies are the greatest, because they keep their idealism. A combination of preserving the truth, but also innovation, which challenges the truth greatly and challenges the traditions that were built to preserve the truth, which is very dangerous and yet so amazing that the youth do. I've always had that idealism, and I've always had to try to foster it in the student. And I think that the idealism of saying that we teach people a truth and that it'll change everything is a beautiful idealism. And as you know, you see what I write, you see how much I've written, put a lot of stock in that concept of the word, you know what I mean? A lot of love for the word, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's it. That's how I would answer that self I build. I'm looking back at this chat from the previous one. I want to go through all of them though, because you guys asked some good things, have great statements today. I've been able to just freewheel here. LT Station said here, the black man is God, period. So good that we know and live supreme math. We know that it's about knowledge and wisdom. Tama, I don't know what it means. And we see the culture, the way a person lives, what he says to you. It's true, true. Okay. Jarrell said, so is it sort of like my enemy's enemy can be a good friend or perhaps teacher? Well, the thing is, you don't know the extent of what you consider your enemies, though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not our enemies. They are just in the position of the enemy. You know what I mean? Because this entire cipher is, this entire devilish civilization has positions. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes what we think is the enemy, though, is really just a bureaucratic position in an empire, Right? LT said, most people, when they hear the word God, they think of it as a great degree, the way religious people do, even the 5%. So when they hear you say that you know you're a God, they think you're righteous or religious. Yeah, true, Yeah, we're always knocking down perceptions. We're dealing with words that are very confusing. God, power, even the word knowledge, though, they're all words that get confused. You know what I mean? Right? Indeed, self-magnetic piece of the God. Mayor Lindsay, right? And The Mayor's Man, the book by Barry Gothard. Out of print, by the way. I wish I had a copy of that I could share. We know, LT said, we know that because the black man is God by nature. Does that mean he does righteous knows deeds and words, wisdom to knowledge their wisdom and see how they live? We know to pay attention to their words and ways. Nothing means that they are not God. But when you do the knowledge, you can see if they're righteous or not. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Mr. G1, peace God. What are your thoughts on the plus lesson titled International Teacher? Short, but great. Very influential. I'm a teacher. To teach at the school, that was a plus lesson I got very early on. So it's very important. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think off the head what was the most important thing I got out of that, or things that stick in my head. But the thing I always remember of that degree, that plus lesson, is the adaptability of the teacher. You know what I mean? The adaptability. Malik, peace God. Is that protein powder behind? Yeah, this is plant head. I just ended. This is brown rice, but this is the protein that I was using though. Unfortunately though, they don't make this. Is hard to find. I'm trying to find. This is hard to find, but it's very tasty. Also, others that I've used that become now canisters for things. Sun Warrior. This is my favorite. that I use amazing grass. You know what I mean? I use the amazing grass. What's in the, oh yeah, look, I got the gunpowder. Got the gunpowder green tea. I keep forgetting this is here and I never finished it. Still got some left. It's good green tea. But amazing grass. This is great because they mix the protein powder, but they also have chlorophyll, red and green chlorophyll in here. So you get like, you get everything in one shot. So it makes it very easy. It tastes great too. So, in trying to gain weight, which I've been successful with this year, from the top of, let's say, like when I've been started to do these classes online, I was about 12 pounds lighter. You know what I mean? So in my training, I've been able to gain 12 pounds and still not, lose my mobility. And isn't that the key to everything, right? The mobility, right? But let's see what we had in this last thing. Mr. G1, you did the knowledge, Planet Protein, yeah. Okay, so I think I lost the feed here. Let's see what new stuff is being said here. All right, you brothers are all back. All right. Dinosaurs are giants and our elders are the giants. Study those bones. Wise you. Nice. That's some cleverness right there. I like that. Man. I can't say that I know what a lot of the fathers said about dinosaurs. I think I remember someone telling me, but I don't remember. I don't remember. I do think that there's prehistoric animals. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they're. Sometimes I think that the dinosaurs aren't with the best logic. Like for example, like a 10-story animal with a pea-sized brain that doesn't make sense. Because you would need a big brain to actually have the ability to just function and move all that. It doesn't make sense though. It's not all about like, oh, I have a big brain so I can talk, like you need a functional brain that works. So, yeah, so I do bear witness that there were prehistoric animals. In other words, different type of animals, throughout history and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't always bear witness though to the massive, exorbitant amount of detail that is given to all the dinosaurs, though. I find that very shaky. I don't know how they have so much detail about that and not ancient civilizations, but all right, LT's back. Malik said, teaching is so rewarding, no matter how insightful or insignificant you may think it is. When one comes and tells me that they learned from me, I'm forever humbled and grateful. Indeed. All right. I see that self I build. Peace to the bars in the chat. Okay. Debo89, is that a question to me? How to deal with envy and competition in workplace among peers? You got to be like Frozen, be zen like Elsa and Frozen. Let it go. Let it go. Obviously, 48 laws of power, though, can be useful, but it's also based on devilishment. He took things that are really real and he manipulated them to do the most unscrupulous things and most immoral things, but to do them cleverly. So 48 laws of power is certainly a book of devilishment. Not that power is devilishment, but the nature by which he advocates. I mean, I didn't. I used to see people going to the corporate offices reading 48 laws of power. I was like, oh my goodness, you're reading a blueprint you're trying to use with people. You know what I mean? 48 Laws of Power, though, if you do want those books, I have all the Robert Greene books digitally. So if anyone is interested. 48 Laws of Power is a book to read. What I would say is this, though. Envy and competition. Don't compete. Just worry about doing your best. Don't race. Keep to your own pace. You know what I'm saying? Um, to keep from competition, just make sure that everything you do in the workplace has the proofs of you doing them. Guard your proofs with email. Guard your proofs with be able to show and prove that you did what you did in the workplace, and that what you didn't do can be proven as well. Right? That way, envy doesn't become put into actions against you. Right? So that's always the thing in the workplace. Learn to protect yourself as opposed to just getting lost in competition. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. Even museums put together puzzle pieces based on theories. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Word 60 said, I heard you when you said the creator is within the creation. How about the idea that they are one? Um, oh, that creator and creation is one? I don't see it exactly that way unless you see creator is a creation himself, because we are self-created. So creator is self-created, so you could see creator as a creation as well. In that case, it's all one. But in this concept, is that we are inside our own creation, impacting all creation. And everyone is impacting creation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Self-magnetic, indeed. Got to read 40 Laws of Power, Caution, Snake Ways. That's not how the righteous move. Yeah, but it's good to know them. And then since this was such a big book, and by the way, it's a very entertaining book. The style of format and everything, it's a fun read. You know what I mean? I guess the best example of the manipulation of the book is probably the last 48th power, where, if I remember correctly, it manipulates. It has such a horrible, devious application of. I'm trying to pull it up here. A devious application of the Tao, and what emptiness and fullness mean in the Tao. You know, it's just cringeworthy shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, the last one, Law 48, assume formlessness. By taking a shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself to attack. Instead of taking a form from your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain, no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid, as formless as water. Never bet on stability, lasting order. Everything changes. And see how they manipulate assumed formlessness to just be sneaky. It's pretty much what it is, and basically untraceable. That's really not what. That never was what form. In fact, the Taoist teachings about emptiness and formlessness, um, they deliberately talk about not doing this shit. You know what I mean? I mean, somewhere, you know, if the Tao has its own mystery gods, they're up there in the heavens going, this motherfucker really wrote that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what, you know, what they was about. You know what I mean? So it's really, but boy, it's a fun read. You know what I mean? Yeah, period. Keep a great paper trail. Yeah, paper trail is gonna, because look, I've been in jobs where I've been dealt with very racist. You know what I mean? And your paper trail can help you, but if people have it out for you though, so that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? That's why you got to keep your options open. Have a lifestyle of multiple streams of income. Do your best to do that. Do your best to dive into other things. You know what I mean? Right? Indeed, indeed. Very welcome, Debo. Uh, their timeline of dinosaurs in this sense disputes the messenger. Sure, it disputes most ancient history. Um, a lot of the stuff doesn't really make sense. I think the timeline of dinosaurs is one of the most illogical things. Um, and I don't think it's something I even ask you to study because it's not. It's so hard to put into context. what protein powder you says I use being a vegan and where you at and where at. Yeah. I hope that I answered that question. The best to me is the protein superfood because you're getting the chlorophyll powders all at once. So you could spend your money on this. So, and with one, you get protein and you're getting your chlorophylls. And you could get this anywhere, all the health food stores, but they got this online. Amazing Grasses, the website or Amazon has really good prices for I get it on Amazon right now. You know, I used to love going to Westerly out in the Columbus Circle, but but with this pandemic and shit, you can't just travel, so it becomes wasteful. Word 60, any thoughts on last comment wise? On your last comment? Oh yeah, I just did. Yeah, yeah, because a lot of the dinosaurs are being put in the timeline to make the assumption that man was prehistoric man in caves. So we know that the extra and exorbitant details about dinosaurs is very untrustworthy. Very untrustworthy. You know what I mean? And illogical because it's taking away from the fact that we had civilizations all over. But look, we're about to hit Thanksgiving next week, and we're hitting a holiday that is based on a false history that has succeeded in being celebrated for the last what? We keep talking about, oh, we're going to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Day, and yet we're still doing Thanksgiving, which is even worse because it's the same type of holidays. And it's even worse than Columbus Day because no one does anything Columbus Day. People actually engage in things, for for Thanksgiving, and cement false history, and the thing about the details of the dinosaur is that it puts the dinosaur in a lot of the epics of like, no, that wasn't what was happening. Ancient civilizations were happening all over the world of original people, not dinosaurs walking the damn earth. Did they step on pyramids and shit and poke their? Was that why pyramids were pointy? So that way the dinosaurs wouldn't go there and they would poke their big old feet. It just doesn't make any sense. They have all these details about that, not anything else. It's crazy. But the truth is, like, the messenger's teachings are really about a time. They don't give you the great detailed timeline, but they're a beginning. They're a beginning. I like the title of that, Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism. Interesting. I like that your Sifu is actually having you engage in reading literature that is also mental. I'd never heard of that book, though. Ah, okay. I know the author, though. I know the author. That is Chogyam Trungpa. Chogyam Trungpa, um, very good stuff. The angles of Tibetan Buddhism and stuff. So, yeah. Very useful books. I do have that book. I've never read it. In fact, I know of I know of Chogyam, and I have many of his books, but I actually haven't been able to read them yet because I got them. I got a whole chunk of them last year, and I have read so many Zen Buddhist books that I've been trying to just vary and read different things. You know what I mean? So I've been leaving those for a while. You know what I mean? But he's when I get back into reading Zen Buddha, he's definitely one that I'm gonna start reading with. The last guy I was really reading a lot of Zen Buddhist books though was Thich Nhat Hanh. I really love Thich Nhat Hanh's way of writing and explaining Buddhist principles. But email me, reminding me. I'll send you that book tomorrow, or usually probably Saturday and stuff. I get to all these emails. I try to write my peace course column on Saturday, That is if I'm not, those moments when I'm not playing with my daughter, and she gets bored of me and ditches me, and I start to, put my thoughts together for that. Then I try to answer the emails and stuff. But it'd be then. Okay. The book Darkin mentioned, very crucial book though, Blacks in Science. That's Ivan Van Sertima though. Again, if you want that book, I give it to you. It's a great book. Malik, I emailed you about the Plus lesson you mentioned in 130s. Yes, yes. What you got? Okay, yeah. It's a good thing to hit send. Well, since you didn't hit send, add anything else that you want, and I'll get that to you, Malik. Jarrell said the True Perception, The Path of Dharma, art by Trungpa is a decent read too. Ah, okay. Yeah. Again, I collected a lot from him though, and I haven't been able to dive into him though. I have a lot of books from authors that I really want to dive into. I just haven't been able to yet. It's a lot of books I'm reading, you know what I mean? As always, right? Yeah, 7930, I have it though. So if you want Black Society, email me. I'll get it out to you. So we're past 10 o'clock though. The emails I'll answer. What a great discussion. I guess today goes down as a discussion. And you had great questions and stuff. And I really love the engagement though in the emails. The questions that you're asking though, I really feel like they're being used. Whatever's being shared. And I appreciate all the questions. So until next time, in all this though, stay safe. Keep yourself as healthy and strong as possible. Develop your warriorship. Study your lessons. Memorize your understandings and develop your questions. All right. And until next time, peace.